The movie kicks off in Japan with a student named Takahata. Takahata stood out from the rest of his classmates, not just because he was smart, but because he was too smart, and that made life, well, boring for him. But his boring day takes a dark turn when, in the middle of class while the teacher is writing on the board, the teacher's head suddenly explodes. Yeah, just like that. In its place appears this creepy talking toy called Daruma. And this thing is here to play a game. Except it's the kind of game where if you lose, you die. The rules are twisted. If Daruma turns its head and catches a student moving, their head explodes instantly. But if Daruma's back is turned, the students can move freely. The problem is, anyone who panics and tries to run for the door also dies on the spot. One by one, Daruma spins its head, spots a student moving, and boom. When a student dies, little red balls roll out of their body. Two students try to time it right and rush the door when Daruma looks away, but the door is locked, and before they can even react, Daruma spins back around and kills them too. The class is in full panic mode now, until a student named Sagata steps up and tells everyone to calm down. He actually knows this game. It's called Daruma-san, and they're trapped until they either die or press the button on Daruma's back. The moment anyone presses that button, the challenge ends. One guy makes a desperate dash for it, but Daruma senses him, spins fast, and takes him out. And that's Daruma's strategy. Speak slowly to lull them into a false sense of safety, then suddenly whip around when someone gets close. That's when the students notice there's a timer on Daruma's back. Only 1 minute left. If the timer runs out, everyone dies. They all scramble to get behind the toy, but people are slipping on the red balls, and Daruma keeps picking them off. Soon the classroom is a slaughterhouse, and only 2 people are left with 10 seconds on the clock, Takahata and Sagata. They come up with a last-second plan. Sagata crouches down, Takahata jumps onto his back, and launches himself toward Daruma's button. With literally 1 second left, Takahata slams the button, and Daruma freezes. The creepy toy is clearly annoyed it lost, but Takahata and Sagata cheer. They actually survived. Except, in an instant, Sagata's head explodes. Daruma turns to Takahata and says, "You're the one who pressed the button, so you're the only one who wins." Takahata is in shock, but before he can react, Daruma hints that the cat is coming, a preview of the next game. The classroom door swings open, and Takahata's friend Ichika walks in, looking traumatized. Takahata rushes to her, and she explains she was in her own Daruma challenge. And just like him, when she pressed the button, everyone else in her class died. They decide to call the police, but there's no signal. They try to leave the school, only to find every door locked. Takahata smashes at a window, but it won't break. Eventually, they find a door open and step into the gymnasium. But the moment they enter, it slams shut behind them. They're not alone. Other students are here too, and some are wearing mouse costumes. Takahata realizes this must be the next challenge. Written on the floor are the rules. Put the ball in the basket to win. Then the ground shakes. From the shadows, a giant cat statue emerges and immediately eats a student wearing a mouse suit. The cat moves toward anyone dressed like a mouse and devours them. This game is even deadlier than the first. The students scatter in terror. The cat lunges toward Takahata and Ichika, but doesn't attack them since they're not wearing mouse suits. Ichika spots a ball rolling across the floor, and Takahata notices the cat has a basketball hoop on its chest. He puts 2 and 2 together. The goal is to throw the ball into that hoop. Takahata shouts this to the others, and a skilled basketball player asks Ichika to pass him the ball. He takes the shot, and it's almost in, but the cat blocks it, catches the ball, and hurls it back at the player with deadly force, slamming him into the wall and killing him instantly. The cat then stares at Takahata but leaves him alone, focusing again on anyone in a mouse suit. That's when Takahata realizes the cat only eats people wearing the mouse costumes. He yells at everyone to take them off, and they do, thinking they're safe now. But suddenly, the cat changes its mind and starts attacking everyone. Chaos breaks out again, and Ichika finds the ball at her feet. She sees there's a timer on it, only 3 minutes left. The cat gets closer to Ichika, ready to kill her. Takahata sees his friend is about to die, so he grabs a mouse suit and puts it on, luring the cat away from her. The cat chases him, and Takahata runs back and forth, desperately calling for someone to throw him the ball, but everyone's too scared after what happened to the basketball player. Then Takahata hears a strange noise and realizes the cat isn't trying to kill him. It wants someone to scratch its back. If it's satisfied, maybe it'll fall asleep. Takahata climbs onto the cat's back, grabs a rope rope-like spot and starts scratching. The cat actually smiles, stops attacking, and seems to enjoy it. Takahata yells for the others to help. Ichika runs over and joins him, and soon more students climb up and scratch the cat's back. Slowly, the giant beast starts to doze off until it's completely asleep. With the cat out cold, Takahata grabs the ball, ready to take the final shot. But then a new problem pops up. Every single student wants to be the one to throw the ball into the cat's hoop. They start arguing, each thinking that whoever scores will be the only one who gets to live. The arguing gets louder and louder, and that's when the cat wakes up. Without hesitation, the giant creature swipes its claws, killing 2 students instantly. Takahata realizes there's no time to put it back to sleep. They need another plan, fast. That's when he comes up with a clever idea. He grabs a regular basketball with its outer skin torn and tells Ichika to get the cat's special ball. They sneak off behind the locker room, then come back out, each holding a ball and both now wearing mouse suits. They approach the cat from different sides, making it unsure which one of them has the real target. But Takahata accidentally reveals his ball is just a normal basketball, so the cat turns its focus to Ichika, ready to block her throw. What the cat doesn't know is that this is all part of Takahata's trap. While it's distracted with Ichika, he hurls his ball, which secretly has the cat's real ball hidden inside it, straight at the hoop. It's almost perfect, but it bounces off. Everyone thinks they've just lost. And then, out of nowhere, a student named Amaya appears from behind the cat. He catches the ball and dunks it into the hoop in the final second. The cat freezes, signaling the game is over. Seconds later, it announces the winners: Takahata, Ichika, and Amaya. No other names are called. Takahata, confused, asks what will happen to the rest of the students. That's when Amaya calmly starts killing them one by one. Turns out, he's the type who believes only the strong should survive, and he's more than happy to prove it. He turns to Takahata and Ichika, saying, "We're the winners. We deserve to live." Ichika snaps back that he's insane and that he can't compare himself to them. Amaya doesn't take it well and moves to kill her, but Takahata steps in and stops him. Suddenly, the cat sprays a white gas, and the 3 winners vanish. We cut to a news broadcast revealing that these deadly challenges are happening all over the world, in schools everywhere. More than 10 million students are already dead. Reporters scramble to make sense of it, with some suggesting aliens are behind it. Giant floating cubes have appeared in the skies, one above each country. Inside Japan's cube, Takahata wakes up and finds himself face to face with Takusa, an old girlfriend from another school. There are also 2 other survivors, Tara and Taka, both from different schools. All of them had survived both the Daruma challenge and the cat challenge. Takahata notices something strange. Every student in this room has a name that starts with the letter T. He guesses that maybe all the winners are grouped by the first letter of their names. Then he remembers, Ichika and Amaya's names start with the same letter. That means they might be stuck together in another room, which makes him nervous. But his own door is locked, so there's nothing he can do except pound on it and yell, hoping someone might hear. Tara, however, stops him. Tara is a genius, and he knows it. Arrogant and confident, he tells Takahata no one is coming to save them. Then he pulls up a 3D projection of the news reports, showing the giant cubes floating over the planet. Takahata realizes they really are inside one of those alien structures. Tara says there's nothing to do but wait for the next game. Soon, the door opens and 4 strange, doll-like creatures float into the room. They announce that it's time for the 3rd challenge, and that this one will be even harder than the last 2. One of the dolls tells Tara he'll go first. Overconfident as always, Tara accepts. The dolls explain the rules. Tara must sit on the ground, close his eyes, and listen while they sing. When the song ends, they'll ask him a simple question: who's standing behind you? The dolls start circling him, singing their eerie tune. But when they stop and ask the question, Tara hesitates. He guesses, and he's wrong. Instantly, one of the dolls fires a strange beam at him. The beam takes control of his body completely, forcing him to slam his head against the floor over and over until he's dead. After Tara's gruesome death, the dolls turn to Taka and tell her it's her turn. She's terrified and refuses to play, but the dolls warn her that if she refuses, she'll die instantly. With no other choice, Taka agrees. They cover her eyes, start circling around her, and sing their eerie tune. When the music stops, they ask, who's standing behind you? Frozen with fear, Taka hesitates for too long. That's enough for her to lose. She tries to get up and run, but the dolls surround her. One of them fires a laser. This time, they force her legs apart and begin pulling harder and harder until her bones snap. Her body tears in 2. Next, the dolls choose Takusa. But before she can start, Takahata steps forward and says he'll take her place. The dolls agree. They sing, circle him, and then stop to ask the question. To their surprise, Takahata Takahata answers correctly. Shocked, they ask how he knew. He explains that he memorized their movements while watching them play with Taka and Tara. Satisfied, the dolls vanish, leaving behind a key. Takahata and Takusa take it and leave the room. Not far away, they spot another student running from one of the dolls. He's clutching a key, but the doll is chasing him because he's alone. He warns them, hold hands. If you're alone, she'll kill you. Sure enough, when the doll sees them holding hands, she stops chasing and wanders off to find another target. Now, Takahata's group has 2 keys. They follow the sound of someone shouting and discover a chica cornered by a doll. Takahata rushes over, grabbing her hand just seconds before the doll strikes. Suddenly, a giant wooden head appears in the wall, a countdown timer ticking in its forehead. There are 7 keyholes, and the head announces that 7 people must insert the 7 keys at the same time. The group meets 2 more students, both carrying keys. That brings them to 6 people with 4 keys total. They still need 1 more person and 3 more keys, and there are only 2 minutes left. It seems hopeless until 3 keys land on the ground in front of them. They turn to see Amaya with another student by his side. Without hesitation, Amaya kills the other student. I only kept him alive so the doll wouldn't kill me, he says coldly. Takahata doesn't want Amaya in their team, but with no choice, he lets him join. The 7 survivors insert their keys into the wooden head, which announces that the challenge is complete. The head vanishes, revealing a tunnel. They crawl through and emerge into another area, just as the ground shakes. A massive white polar bear appears, performing a strange little show before speaking. I hate lies, the bear says. This challenge is simple. I'll ask you questions. You must answer honestly. If someone lies, the group must either find the liar or sacrifice someone to move on. The first question is easy. What's your favorite food? Everyone answers without hesitation, but the bear sniffs the air and says, I smell a lie. The group has 2 minutes to decide who it is. Suspicion falls on one student, who answered vegetables. The others argue that vegetables aren't even a full meal. He insists he's telling the truth, but it's too late. The group votes to sacrifice him. The bear kills him instantly. Next question. Do you like Takahata? Ichika and Takusa say yes. Amaya says yes too, and so do the rest. But again, the bear claims there's a liar. Ichika immediately accuses Amaya, saying he doesn't like anyone. While they argue, Takahata stops to think. Why would anyone lie if the bear can smell it? The bear grins. Well done. You figured it out. One of you is an alien in disguise, and that's the one who's been lying from the start. If you don't find them, you'll all die. A student accuses Takusa, reasoning that she's the only one here not from their school. Amaya backs him up, and the majority vote to sacrifice her. The bear crushes her, leaving nothing but blood. Takahata is devastated. Takusa was his old girlfriend. But then he looks at the bear and says, I know who the liar is. The bear is shocked when Takahata points at him. He explains that Takusa's blood washed off the white paint on the bear's fur, revealing black underneath. The bear was the liar all along. There was never an alien among them. It had been tricking the group into killing each other. Furious, the bear charges. The students scatter, leading it into a hot area where the heat melts the paint from its body. Defeated, the bear admits their victory. The survivors move on to the next stage, the final challenge. Small dolls appear and explain the rules. One player will be chosen as Akuma. That person will take a special box and place it in a red circle on the ground. The others will have time to hide. Once the hunt begins, if Akuma sees someone, they must shout the person's name and drag them to a prison cell. And with that, the game begins. The dolls explain the final game. If the player chosen as Akuma can lock 3 or more students in prison before sunset, they win. But if even one free student manages to kick the special box inside the circle, Akuma loses. There's just one problem. The box has a bomb inside. Kicking it means sacrificing yourself to save the others. The dolls make it clear. The game won't end until the sun goes down, which is about an hour away. If Akuma hasn't caught at least 3 people by then, they lose. To decide who will be Akuma, the dolls hold a random draw using 5 sticks. Luck turns against the group. Akuma is none other than Amaya, the most dangerous and ruthless of them all. The moment the game starts, everyone scatters to hide. Amaya places the box in the red circle, then takes off hunting. He quickly finds 2 students from another school. They try to fight him, but he's stronger and throws them into the prison without much effort. Takahata and Ichika witness it from a distance. Amaya spots them too and heads their way. Takahata ties a rope to help them escape through a window, but Amaya closes in fast. Realizing they won't make it, Ichika sacrifices herself, confronting Amaya to buy Takahata time. Amaya grabs Ichika and locks her up, then rushes to chase Takahata. But Takahata has already slipped away, knowing Amaya will likely guard the box. He hides nearby, waiting for an opening. Amaya tries to lure him out by shouting, claiming he's already caught 3 people people so they could both win together. Takahata doesn't believe a word. He knows Amaya is lying. Searching the area, Takahata finds a suit of metal armor. He puts it on, planning to kick the box and protect himself from the explosion. The armor is incredibly heavy, slowing him down and making him look ridiculous. He even drops his sword and retreats to the edge of the castle wall, completely exposed. Amaya knocks off his helmet and moves in, but then realizes too late that he's been tricked. Takahata had secretly wrapped a chain around himself, and when Amaya removed the helmet, the chain tightened around Amaya's body, holding him back. Now he couldn't reach the box. Takahata takes a moment to speak. He admits he used to think life was boring and wanted change, but these games have shown him how precious life really is. He regrets not valuing it sooner, and he's lost his friends because of it. Then, in one bold move, Takahata throws himself from the castle wall, dragging Amaya down with him. But before hitting the ground, Takahata slips free of the heavy armor, letting Amaya struggle to pull the weight off. Takahata climbs to the rooftop and heads for the box, moving slowly from exhaustion. Amaya finally breaks free and charges after him, but it's too late. Takahata kicks the box. Everyone braces for an explosion, but nothing happens. There was no bomb. The dolls laugh, admitting they lied to make the game more exciting. The sun sets, and the final challenge is declared over. Takahata is the winner. Amaya fumes over losing, expecting death, but the dolls surprise everyone. No one is going to die this round. Fireworks explode in the sky, and the students celebrate finally surviving. The dolls even give them ice cream as a reward. Takahata and Ichika sit together, talking about what they'll do once they get out. While eating, Takahata notices writing on his popsicle stick, but ignores it. Ichika, however, reads hers and bursts into tears. It says, "You lose. You will die." The dolls announce the cruel truth. Every challenge so far required skill and intelligence, but in the end, luck will decide who lives and who dies. Each ice cream stick has a person's fate written on it. Takahata's stick says he'll live. Amaya's says the same. But Ichika and the two other students, they say they'll die. Without mercy, the dolls fire a laser, killing Ichika and the others instantly. Takahata and Amaya are transported onto a floating cube above Japan, where the crowd cheers for the survivors. But Takahata can't celebrate. He's heartbroken. He survived, but lost the person he loved. And that's where the movie ends.